Hey gang, Jesse here with EC Auto Repair, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA, I'm not even a financial advisor, I'm not a workout coach. I don't even know why you're watching the video, but if you do find yourself at work and you need to do a couple squats, especially if you're in your shop, you can grab a battery that weighs about 50 pounds and you can do the squats. See? Ooh, 95. 96, 97, 98. And make sure and pop that back up like that. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. On a serious note though, whew, that was a workout. I'll have to tag my coach in this video to show her that I'm doing all the things. I'm doing a squat. Man, maybe I can even do a curl. Curl. Yeah, see, it's harder with a battery. It weighs a little bit too much for a weakling like me. But we'll just imagine I did a curl. We'll find something else to curl around here. All right, but it's February 12th. An absolutely gorgeous day here in Elk City, Oklahoma, western Oklahoma. But 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was not a beautiful day. It was like -15, -20 wind chill. And so we dealt with a lot of trucks that wouldn't start. We dealt with a lot of, especially on the diesel side, frozen diesel. We had a tire job we needed to do. When the air coming into the shop was froze up. It was hard to get the air working. Everything, it was just so cold, right? Cold is really hard on batteries. I don't care what anybody tells you. I've been to classes. I've been to so many battery classes. It doesn't mean I can't learn anything about them, but they always say, oh, it's the heat that ruins the batteries. And yeah, it probably is the heat that ruins the batteries, but I guarantee you we sell more batteries in the cold spells than we do in the super hot spells. We sell a lot of extreme temperature changes one way or another. Doesn't matter. We replace a lot of batteries. But there's a few different things, and I'm going to get a little bit on my soapbox because this particular vehicle here came in. It wouldn't start. It wouldn't start. We tested the battery. The battery tests good. The battery tests bad. And I'll show you. And I don't know if it'll show up now because we just played with this one in the last video. But I'm going to go ahead and hook it up. And residually, see, it's showing 12 volts, right? But there's no load on it at all. There's no, it's not even in the vehicle, there's no load. This is literally the voltage in it. But I put a little bitty load on it, and it instantly falls to 4 volts. Now this is a load tester, you know, attempting to simulate a starter or the headlights or something like that, but it falls to below 4 volts. Well, we're working on an engine misfire problem. We're working on a no start condition, and yeah, we can put a jump pack on it, but the problem with a jump pack is designed to work on a good battery that actually has good residual voltage, not one that is completely destroyed on the inside. There's something inside this one that is not working as it should, that is causing it to fail, right? There could be multiple things that's going to happen. It doesn't even matter. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is this is not a good battery. And so we call the customer and we say, hey, Mr. Client, for us to really move on any further, we need to put a battery in this vehicle. Okay? He doesn't believe us. Can't be. That's a good Walmart battery. Right? You can even tell it's an old battery. No, sir, Mr. Customer, it's not a good battery. Well, I don't believe you. So he comes and picks up the battery and he takes it to a parts house. They put it on the charger for a few hours and then they instantly test it as soon as it comes off the charger. And of course it tests good. So then he comes back to us and says, here's the battery. It tested good. It doesn't need a battery. Okay, Mr. Customer, but I don't know that you know as much about batteries as what we do. I'm telling you, this battery is no good. So we put it in the car, and guess what? By the time now a number of hours has passed from the time it was charged to the time it's put in the car, and the car won't start. And so we check the voltage when we're trying to start the car. It falls down to 7 volts, and it just came off the charger. It's not enough voltage to start the car. So my point is, and then this is a big truck battery. Big trucks generally have 4 of these batteries. Very similar situation. I haven't tested this one for a while, in a few days, so I have no idea where it's going to show up today, but we're going to just hook that up there again. This one has 925 cold cranking amps. It's a big battery, but this guy was persuaded that this battery was not bad, and it's just not good. And especially when it's negative 15 wind chill, that is not going to start a semi truck. So we replace these batteries, okay? But my point is when we're dealing with starting issues, we're dealing with electrical problems, it has to have a good voltage source. We have to have a good battery. We might put a battery charger, battery maintainer on it or whatever while we're doing our testing and all that stuff, but it's impossible for us to do the testing that we need to do whenever there's not a good battery and good voltage source within the vehicle. The number one reason the starters fail is this: it's low voltage. So maybe you got a weak battery and you continue to push it and push it and push it and push it. Eventually you're going to not only just need a battery, but you're also going to need a starter. The other thing that we've run into, especially in the summertime, in the hot summer days, is the alternator will fail. Maybe voltage regulator will fail within the alternator, maybe a diode will fail, it doesn't even matter, but it'll begin to overcharge that battery. And so we've seen a few instances where actually the alternator failing, it actually took out the battery during the process on the way. But the thing of it is on all these vehicles, they all have ECMs, transmission control modules, airbag control modules. They have all these different modules that all are running within a specific voltage range. So these vehicles are more and more particular about the voltage that they get, and it being a good, steady, reliable source of voltage. And that's why vehicles are using AGM batteries now, which stands for absorbent glass material batteries. It's a more heavy duty, more resilient battery than just a flooded lead type battery. So hope this helps. But if your mechanic is telling you need a battery, they do a load test and it fails the load test, listen to him. Save him some grief and some aggravation. Replace the battery. And we'll see you in the next video.